Today we are opening up a 90s retro Air Jordan shoe. In fact, here it is. This is the Air Jordan OG. So this is a shoe from 1998, from that 97-98 NBA season where Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls took home their second three-peat, completing the 6 rings. Let's open up the box. It of course comes in this beautiful OG box, the original box that it came in. Let's open it up. This is the Air Jordan OG. And I have been waiting for this shoe for a long time. Alright, so this shoe came out in 1997-98 season. I think it came out in 1998. And it was patterned after the Air Jordan 13, which is what Jordan was wearing during that final season with the Chicago Bulls, with the exception of a few games where he's wearing the 14. But I think a lot of people would agree that the 13 is one of the best Jordans of all time. This shoe is really well made. This is premium materials all the way through. It was the same spec as the Jordan 13, but designed to be for women specifically. Which means that you have these split pods on the outsole, you have herringbone traction, and you have this carbon fiber shank plate in the middle. And this is all premium leather on the top, full grain leather, except for the tongue. I believe that the tongue is synthetic. And you can see where the lace loop goes through. It is quite thin and there is no blue color that usually you get on the authentic leathers. And I'm pretty sure that the toe is a thin, genuine leather, because you can see here in the eye holes on the top that this leather is a thick white leather. And then over here, where the toe box becomes the tongue, there is a little bit of exposed leather. And you can see it a little bit better on the right shoe, that the edge of the leather is exposed. And you can see that kind of bluish edging and fibers of chromium leather, which is what most sneaker leather is made out of. Original genuine leather on the upper. There is mesh to make the shoe lighter and to give it some breathability. And then you have a foam midsole, and the original Air Jordan OG, called the Women's Jordan, that came out in 1998, had air in both the forefoot and the heel. It had a regular air unit in the heel and a zoom air unit in the toe. But according to the Nike website, this retro only has air in the heel, but it is zoom air. So you get a little bit nicer air in the heel. It's zoom air, but nothing in the forefoot. But generally speaking, when we're talking about lifestyle shoes, not performance shoes, you tend to see the air being more aggressive in the heel anyway and not in the toe. It's understandable. This is not intended, I guess, for basketball playing anymore. This is very much a lifestyle and style shoe. Now on the laces, it comes with the same OG oval laces that the original pair came with. Some of the other colorways of this model do not come with the same oval laces. They have like a rope lace, but I like these OG oval laces. Now you can really see how buttery the leather is on this entire shoe. These side panels, this heel panel over here, and on the toe, it really is buttery soft. And this is one of the best retros that I've seen in recent times. And then leather, the underlay is also a really nice leather. And then on the back, you have the Jumpman and the W, which is supposed to indicate women's. And then of course on the tongue, red Jumpman Now sizing, they do fit loose. Now these are women's shoes, which means that if you go by US sizing, you're supposed to go up 1.5 sizes. And because of the very narrow center section here, I thought that I would go up half a size because I figured these shoes would be too tight, and they're not. They're actually quite roomy in the toe, and I think I made a mistake there. If anything, I would say maybe even go half a size down or go true to size and expect for that toe box to be loose. In terms of styling, I think that these have a great late 90s style. I find them to be a beautiful, beautiful, high quality pair of shoes, and completely slept on. I don't know if it's because people think that it's a women's shoe, which it is, to be fair, it is a women's shoe, but there's really nothing about this sneaker that screams women. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. If you think I'm wrong, say it in the comments. But if I'm like completely honest, I sometimes don't understand why we need men's shoes and women's shoes. Sometimes there's a performance difference, like with the Pegasus 37, I think, that just came out. Now the zoom bag in the toe of that Pegasus model is different for the men and for the women. And apparently the wear testers said that the women wanted a softer airbag and the men want the firmer one. So maybe it's possible to have performance differences, and sometimes the shape of the shoes are more narrow for women's shoes, but that's it. In terms of performance, in terms of styling, this black, white, and red retro from 1998, the championship season, I just don't see it. Now, I think a lot of people don't remember what it was like during that time. I remember being a kid, I was 14 years old, and during that season, I would go to the mall. I would go over to Toby Sports and to Chris Sports. We didn't have some of the shops that we have now, but those shops were there back then, and I would go and I would look at all of the shoes. I would look at all of the Jordans, and as a teenager, even as a young adult, it really didn't matter what the shoe was. Like the Jordan phenomena was just so pervasive that you just wanted something with a Jumpman on it. And as much as I wanted, the flagship model, the 13 and 14 at the time, I still want 14s. I've never had a pair of 14s. I wanted these shoes as well. I want the Jumpman Pro, which is a shoe that Jordan actually did wear as well. And that was just the unstoppable force that was Michael Jordan. So I think what's getting in the way of people picking these up is just that W. It's just people thinking in their heads this is a women's shoe. But anyone can wear these. I honestly am kind of shocked at how slept on these are. You can go over to Titan right now, and these are priced in the 3,000 peso range, right? Retail, these are 7,200 pesos, which is what, 140? As far as I'm concerned, I've waited since 1998 to wear a pair of shoes like this, and 20 years later, I am able to wear them. I really like this pair. Another women's pair that I thought was gorgeous was the year after this came out, there was a low-cut version that also had the same shape, but it was low-cut, and instead of having the dimples, it had ribs that ran this way. So it was kind of a mix. It was kind of a hybrid, for lack of a better term, but it was a women's shoe that had elements of the Air Jordan OG, elements of the 13 and of the 14 last shot, which has those ribs. And that was called the Jordan Sweet Fade, I think. And they came in black, they came in blue. And those were gorgeous. If they ever retro those, I will pick those up as well. I fully intend to beat these guys up and wear them a lot. One, they're inexpensive, 3,000 pesos, hard to beat. That is a crazy price for these shoes. But also, I think that this shoe is gonna look great since it's a retro when it has a little bit of age on it. I've actually been trying to figure out how to yellow these midsoles a bit more because it's painted. How to get it to be a bit more yellow so we can get You know, not just these clean vibes, but that whole retro vintage feel for these shoes. Yeah, am I crazy? I don't know. I think that this is a beautiful shoe. Have you ever bought women's shoes? I mean, a lot of women buy men's shoes. Why can't men buy women's shoes? Or a lot of women wear kids' shoes. It doesn't mean that they're a kid. I feel like in 2020, we're in an era where gender in apparel, the lines are a bit more blurred. I know how important it was in 1998 to build a shoe that was for women specifically. You know, this is the pair that Cheryl Swoops hooped in before she got her signature line. So in that way, these are shoes that really were used for breaking down the door for women's sports. And for me, that's important. I find that heritage to be beautiful. And I do respect the legacy of what it meant, or what it even still means to make footwear that are specifically for women. But I think we're coming to a point in society where we really, there should be no stigma on wearing someone else's shoes. And I've always had that aspect to my expression. I remember when I was into table tennis, I used to wear women's Nike shoes. I was about 17 years old. I would buy women's shoes in the outlet, partly because of price, but partly because they just responded better to my size, to my foot. I mean, if you look at this box, it says size 11.5 here, but it also says UK 9. It also says Euro 44. And European and UK sizing, they don't have men and women. Maybe globally, shoe companies, Nike, Jordan brand, you name it, can get to a point where there's just one number here. Maybe we can start the process where there's a big number and that's everybody's number, whether you're a man or a woman. And then over on the side, you would have all of the other data, all the other information. I think the other thing about it is that, gosh, this is such good quality, and you don't get this kind of quality on a lot of sneakers now. You just don't. Like, most sneakers are designed with mesh, with plastic materials, and that's not a knock on them. They have those materials for a reason. Those are for speed, for performance upgrades. But in terms of lifestyle, like, this is a fresh, clean model with high quality components, high quality parts, Zoom Air in this shoe. And you can go over and find this for $3,000, $60. That's nuts. That's nuts. I don't know. What do you think? Is it weird that I want to wear women's shoes? Do you think it matters? On a black, I mean, I like pink. I like pink. I like orange. I like traditionally women. I like rainbows. I mean, I'm wearing a rainbow tie-dye shirt. Do you guys remember what it was like in 97, 98? That cultural phenomena that was Michael Jordan? Are you a man who has these shoes? Are you a woman who has these shoes? Are you gonna go right now to, I know that Nike.com/PH has these on sale as well. They already had them on discount, but the best price that I've seen is on Titan, which is Titan22.com. I think they still have a few pairs there. Are you gonna pick up a pair? I would like to know. I really would. Hit me up on Instagram. I'm at Kayo. Do follow at Adjima Mag on Instagram as well, and at Honeycomb Manila. And while you're at it, we would appreciate if you watch some of our older videos. We have a lot of stuff about sneakers, but also about coffee. This week, actually right after this, I'm gonna unbox some coffee from Casada Coffee. Next week, we're doing some tasting. And if you could please comment and leave a like on each of those videos and watch them. It helps us a lot, and we do appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'm Kayo. Please be safe. Please take care of yourselves and wear a mask. Wash your hands. Peace.